Well, that big decision has been made. Steven Stamkos no longer the captain in Tampa. He joins the Nashville Predators. Barry Trotz has been a busy man. Look at some of the big ads that Trotz has done to solidify and improve the Nashville Predators, bringing in Stamkos, Brady Shea on the back end, Jonathan Marchessault, and in net Scott Wedgwood. That goes hand in hand with the extension of UC Saros to that long-term deal a couple of days ago as well. So if you're a Nashville Predator fan, you have to be quite happy with not only where your team was at this past season, but where it's now heading in the future.
I mean, you're bringing in winners, too, with Marchessault, and you bring in Stamkos. You're bringing in leaders. You talked about he wore the C in Tampa for so long. So the impact that those players can have on that organization immediately from the first day of training camp will be fun to watch because, you know, Nashville isn't known as a team that would draw big-time free agents to them. And to be able to do this all within the first hour of free agency is pretty amazing. And again, I think it goes back to the fact that they played so well and the GM gained confidence, the ownership gained confidence. You look at that lineup and that potential lineup on where they might fit, that would be a lineup that has a chance to succeed very well.
Yeah. Big, heavy, tough team to play against, and now adding a lot of skill, too, as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, you know, go back to the power play. I mean, that's going to be a very formidable power play when you think of Josi up top and Stamkos on that dot on the left side with that right shot. And O'Reilly can be a kind of a distributor. Forsberg is such a talented guy. I mean, they've got a lot of skill there in that mix. Marchessault scored 42 goals last year. I mean, this
quietly.
Yeah, this has been a big day for the Nashville Predators organization. I mean, they are making a big pitch here. I guess we'll get to just sit back and watch how it works out.
I guess we will. Jonathan Marchessault, let's talk about him a little bit more. How does he fit in with this team and what they're trying to do? Because we saw what he did in Vegas, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Just seems like a guy that, much like a Braden Point or something like that, the bigger the games, the better he plays. Like, he shows up.
Hey, listen, this guy, I mean, he's earned everything he's got in this league, right? I mean, right off the hop, he didn't really get any opportunity. He eventually found his way in Tampa. And then
priced himself out.
Moved to Florida. Florida did very well there, and then inexplicably he's available in the expansion draft. He goes to Vegas, ends up there. You see him raising that Stanley Cup and Conn Smythe Trophy winner. And I know he was teammates with Steven Stamkos in Tampa. And, you know, some of the reporting today has been that he reached out to Stamkos and said, hey, listen, is this a place you're considering? And that was part of his thinking. So he's going to, listen, he brings a winning background, and he's a guy that can score. He's a competitor.
He's one of those players that you don't notice him a lot till the offensive zone when he gets the puck on his stick and his release and how he finds a way to become open in the offensive zone is elite. But the reason I say you don't notice him is because he does everything right in all the other areas, but with simple, small plays. Yeah. So if you watch his all-around game, he's an effective player that does what the coach is asking him to do, and that's why he's on the ice so much to be able to score those goals.
All right. How about the acquisition of Brady Shea here? How does he fit into the back end, joining the ranks of Roman Josi and whatnot?
Well, he's a great skater. He's been scoring more goals over the last couple of years, so that's been another piece of his game. You can see him here. But good size, Tony, and he's a great skater, and it's going to be a really good opportunity for him.
Yeah, and the other thing you say, to win, you have to play defense. You have to have defense. And I think, like you said, a big body that skates well. I think he'll fit into the style that Nashville was playing for sure in the last half of the year, which was hard-nosed, hard to play against, fast hockey.
Where do you put Nashville now? Look, on paper, we know on paper is very different than when we see them October 8th for opening night or whatnot. But how does this team stack up with some of the big boys out in the Western
Well, they're in a very tough division, so that's a challenge, right? Because you still got Colorado there, who's going to be up there. Dallas is still very, very good. But they're going to be in that battle now. There's no question. Winnipeg had a really good year last year. They were in there was the big three. But I think, Tony, for me, I look at it again on paper. It looks like this is a team that's going to challenge maybe to win that division.
No question. And, you know, the pieces, when you get them together and you put it on paper, like you said, they look great. It's up to the good part about it is the leadership and the personalities that they brought into the mix. Brunette, again, was an outstanding coach last year. How he got that team rolling and going. So I think the momentum that they got off of the end of last season has to be continued in the summer. So how the guys train. So the worst part about having a really good year is you think, okay, we're finally here. And then they kind of flatline it and just go, oh, we'll do the same things we did last summer to get ready because it went so well. You can't do that. You got to do more. And you got to give more. And you got to find ways to get better. And I think the organization believes in the players. That's why they're making these moves. And the ownership committed to the GM to say, hey, go ahead, spend the money. And the owners have certainly gone out, or sorry, the general manager, in this case, Barry Trotz, has gone out. And he's added some great pieces that any team going into today's day would have said, we'll take those 4.
Yeah.
So,
It's
great job.
The only negative I would say for Nashville is that some of these guys they're into their mid-30s.
Yep.
I mean, and this is a fast league. It's a young league. And so I have no reason to think that these guys won't continue to be good certainly next year, but you wonder long-term how their production is going to continue to be at a high level or not. But listen, sometimes you got to take a shot. You can't get these great players unless you draft and develop them, and it's hard to do that just because you're only allotted a certain amount of draft picks. So they're making a play.
And so this is an important point to make for a general manager. When you're close, you go all in.
Yeah.
You throw all the chips in there, and you do what you have to do. So I think that shows you what Barry Trotz has right now. He's confident. I think this team could win. We're going all in. If you can't win right now, so you say Anaheim or maybe you say Chicago because of the situation there, and you say we put little pieces in at a time and we build. We don't go all in and try to sign all these guys just to spend our money. We're patient on how we do it. So to me, that shows that
they feel like
we're that close. We're going to go for it.
They got a good veteran goalie. They're just going to re-sign for a long term.
Yep.
They've got one of the best defensemen in hockey in Roman Josi. They've got a number of skilled forwards up front, and now they add a couple of guys. I mean, that's almost 100 goals right there they've signed today. Even when you throw in Shea, it's over 100 goals, I think, or close to it. So, I mean, it's a big day in Nashville for hockey, no question.
Yep. I mean,